So I haven't made a video for a while. Just been kind of laying low, seeing how the environment is playing out, seeing how things unravel in life. Um, you know, uh, like personally, here where I'm at, this town, there's a lot of like shady people here. So when you try to rent somewhere, like for instance, for me, I have a low credit score because I'm consolidating my debt, which I guess like nobody has debt problems nowadays or credit problems, but I guess I'm like one of the only ones, which is cool, whatever. These places where I'm at, they want you to have like a high credit score. You can't have pets. A lot of these places. In fact, one of the places that really upset me is when they basically said they wanted to know how much debt I had, and they wanted to know how much employment I have, like how long I've been at my job or whatever. It's like, dude, you don't know how much assets I have. You don't know how much. I'm not trying to brag, and I'm not bragging or nothing, but it's just like, I have a job. You know, if I don't pay my bills, you sue me. Okay, that's what happens. But it's like a lot of places don't even want to give you a chance where I'm at. It's pretty crazy. So like, what I'm trying to do is move into a better place, because I don't want to live in the ghetto. I don't want to live around degenerates. I know what'll happen. I'll hear their ghetto loud music, or they won't leave me alone, probably because of the color of my skin, and I'll get in trouble. And I don't want to get in trouble. I don't want to live around people who I'm not trying to talk crap. I'm just being honest. Like, I don't want to live around people who don't take care of the environment that they're in, who don't care about other people at all. So I don't want to live in that environment. And we'll see what happens. I'm trying to get into a better, different community. Not in this town I'm at, so I'll have to commute to work, which is fine. I've done it before. I feel like I can do it again for a little while, like a year or something. The whole point of right now is I want to see what the future will hold. I want to see the progression of everything. I want to see how our economy holds up, how these policies hold up from Trump, how fast technology keeps evolving. I can get a better understanding of things. Like right now, ChatGPT 4, they're basically trying to roll out your personal assistant. Should be like pretty soon in this year, I guess, where it has control of your schedule, your bank account, pays all your bills, whatever, for you. And that sounds awesome to me. I have to spend a lot of my time working, doing things I don't want to do. The last thing I want to do is sit here and try to figure out my bills. I would rather it be all automated. And yes, you can do auto pay or whatever, but you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't care about any of that. I think for myself quite clearly, if I can delegate work to AI so I don't have to think about it no more, making plans when it comes to like booking things, if I could go on a trip or whatever, get it all figured out. So it's just kind of like I just show up and do it. I hate having to plan things out. It's one of the most annoying things to me. I would rather just have the resources, pay for it, and have it all planned out, and I just live it. Put in some type of algorithm. Well, this is what I like, this is what I like. And then it just, AI just goes and searches things up for me to do. Searches things for me to do. Things I might be interested in. Instead of me having to go like find things myself, I have to go search the internet, or get like a booking agent, pay for, no, just have AI do it all for me, whatever. Handle my appointments, schedule appointments. And you go to the doctor, it finds a doctor. You know how much of a hassle it is to try to find people who are like doctors who are like in network type of crap for your insurance. That shit's annoying as hell, dude. Who likes to do that? Like who likes to do this crap? I hear these people like, oh, blah 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 blah, like you're not gonna, you don't have to do it. Yeah, well listen, you don't have to do that no more. And you know what else we don't have to do no more? We don't have to grow our own food. We don't have to do any of that anymore. So like most people in the past who would be in my position as a peasant grew our own food. We're basically farmers. There's only a couple of jobs for people to do. Blacksmith or whatever. Farming, mostly farming. People grew their own stuff and took care of their own stuff. But it's called like evolving past that crap and using technology to better your life, so you don't have to like waste your time. It's kind of like, instead of sitting here reading a whole book, spending my time, which I hate reading, I can just go ahead and type into AI, be like, hey, what's this book about? Give me a summary of this book. Or you can get a summary when you read the book cover or whatever. But you can just be like, hey, you can start asking it questions about it. Like, what happened with this? What happened with that? And you can get right to the point instead of having to read 500 pages of a bunch of useless crap I don't care about. It's, people are saying like, oh, people are becoming more dumb. What it is people don't have to know information that doesn't really serve them anymore. That's what's happening, and they have a lot more knowledge. So given this environment, what we're in, people didn't, there wasn't like the widespread knowledge about like female nature or anything like that, or how to raise kids right. Like there was like books when I was a kid or something, but it was rare. Well, we have so much access to free information that we don't have to sit here and be ignorant. You don't have to sit here and read the whole damn book. You can look at different scenarios, and I like AI, and I don't know, maybe it's gonna be bad for us. I don't know how I'm been living, where I'm too afraid to even play basketball, because if I get hurt, my life is completely over. I'm gonna go bankrupt because I won't be able to work. Like, what kind of life is that? Like, I want to go and do physical things, and I feel like I can't because I can't afford I can't afford the hospital bill, number one, and number two, I can't afford to miss work. If I can work less, that's great. If I have more time to myself to think, to create, that's amazing. So in some aspects, and definitely like, I'm a bit of a mixed bag when it comes to that, because like, I think that I want like robots to come out and replace all of our jobs, so we don't have to worry about doing monotonous work anymore for resources and never really getting anywhere. We're just on a treadmill that's never ending, and that's how it feels. But at the same time, I'm not for slavery. So I'm not for like people being forced to pay for other people and them not doing anything, unless it's like kids, old people, or like disabled people. But there's plenty of people who are able-bodied people who are either making poor decisions when it comes to someone to have kids with, or they're just like defrauding the system where they should be working, or finding somebody. Like, we can't sustain whatever we're doing right now. You can't incentivize women to leave the men that they've had a baby with because they're bored, and then the government pays for everything. You can't incentivize that. Another thing for me too is like, that's all annoying, but what I want to get to is, you know, like I seen Ian Crossland, he put something out of, you know, the Sims video game was all AI, how amazing that would be. And then I seen people in the comments like, oh, that's real life. And it's like, no, it's not real life. Real life is interacting with random people who, you know, maybe most people like small talk or boring conversations or whatever, where you sit here and talk about the weather, talk about what you ate, talk about how much you drank over the weekend, how you're gonna get fucked up over this next weekend. Maybe people like that, but like, I like in-depth conversations. So I don't really like to interact with random people. I would rather be somewhere where all the people surrounding me are people that I'm interested in getting to know, or getting to know about their lives, instead of having to read a book about them. You know, like a Walter Payton. Like, I read his book, it was cool, but wouldn't it be cool to like interact with Walter Payton in some type of a video game, and get to, you know, get to know him, as you get to know him more, like ask him questions. And I just think that's way more interesting than having to read a book. And I understand, yeah, reading is good, definitely is. It's but there comes a point too when, man, I want to go through all of these trails, but there's rattlesnakes out, and guess what? So I use a big path. There's ticks and rattlesnakes, and this time of year I don't want to deal with that. Yeah, it's like being in the Matrix can be pretty damn fun compared to reality, because reality is just random people. Like, I'm not really dealing with too many people interesting. This is pretty cool. I'm sure this was built way back in the 1700s or something like that, early 1800s. It's pretty cool to see stuff like that. And like I said, I want to go down in there maybe one day, check it out. But look how thick that is. I'm not gonna be messing with ticks and rattlesnakes. But yeah, people in real life, they don't want to talk about the things I want to talk about. I like to talk about in-depth conversations with just like a couple of people, like one or two people. That's where I thrive in. I don't like having to sit here and be in groups of people, and then like I'm trying to get attention or trying to think of something clever to say, and I don't like that scenario. So like, real life to me is for the most part pretty boring. It's always been pretty boring to me, and that's why I avoid it. That's why, you know, I think that a lot of people are avoiding real life nowadays, is because real life is extremely boring. It's a lot of work, and you know, look at how many people are on their phones all the time, and you can see right there that people are bored with reality. It doesn't really, there's some good things about it, but like, there's such a lack of human connection nowadays with the reality, that people are just on the internet and they interact on the internet. So, and I probably said stuff like this in my past videos of turning around now, of this type of this talk about how reality is so boring, and it really is, man, especially nowadays where everyone's so, number one, divided and separated. You don't have the community, so you don't have, like, there's so many people, and it could just be the internet lying to me too. It could just, you know, who knows, but so many people, there's an epidemic of people being lonely. But you know, birth rates are down for a reason. People don't have connection with each other. They're not raised with each other, you know, not being raised, but like being around the same people. And that's what it takes, is being around the same people, familiarity. That's why like families come back together during the holidays and get-togethers, is familiarity. A lot of it is that forced. Like, do you have to spend time with your family? Well, no. If you live on your own, you don't have to do anything you don't want to do. You don't have to go to any family get-togethers, but people do that because those are the people that they were raised with and they're familiar with. And we're like, what we are is like, we're just all thrown into a melting pot of a bunch of strangers, and there's no bond with anybody. Like, for instance, if I get to move into this small town, which has like less than 12,000 people, I have a better chance of developing bonds with people there than I do where I'm at with like this town of like almost 80,000 people. When I go to the store there, I'll see some of the same people all the time. Go to the store here, I'll never see the same people at all. It's always different people. And I've come to the conclusion that I'm an NPC, that I'm just a background person. I don't know why I'm here, whether it's entertainment for aliens, and I don't have much battery, so I better cut this off soon, or God, or just the main characters who need people in the background when they come out in reality, whether it's my car driving past, just a filler. Like, I'm just a filler person. And I think that's what most people are here, is we're just filler people in this simulation that either God created, aliens created, whoever. I mean, that's kind of weird that if you think about space, how distant we are from any type of planet that is habitable, and it's so hard to get off of this planet. It's so hard to venture out. You can't even like venture too far into the earth. We're kind of just stuck in the between, you know. I'm not saying I'm not a flat earther or nothing, but we're stuck in this paradox where we can't really escape. And you would think that also is how fragile we are, that we would develop the ability to not have to sleep much, and we still have to sleep. It just feels like we're not meant for this place. Like, we were kind of just put here. I don't think that we were evolved from this planet. I don't think we evolved from, I mean, there's different things, you know, that we have that are similar to other animals, but it's just so weird how different we are than every other animal here, and nothing even compares to our intelligence. Nothing even close. You know, you could say like monkeys or whatever, or even dogs, like, but they don't have the capability and problem solving skills as we do. You know, nothing like that. It's just, maybe we did evolve from here. I don't know. I think that we're put here, but it just seems, this whole thing just seems weird. And reality is just, it just becomes so boring. It's just boring as hell. Just wake up, do this, you know, every day. Gotta go to sleep, wake up, and it just feels like every day is the same day over and over again. Regardless if you're always on the move, or, you know, you have to go to sleep, you have to shower, you have to do these things to take care of yourself. Just so, everything just so repetitive here. So, you know, but yeah, that's it.